M0FXB Digital Ham Radio Diary, welcome. M0FXB, yeah, just playing around with the 705, and I just thought I'll just do a video that, say you just got it and you're a bit lost. You're like, oh my god, I've got this amazing radio, what do I do now? So I thought I'd do this video just to help you get it up and running. So have a look. M0FXB, right, so you just got your Icom 705, which is a fantastic radio. All mode, VHF, UHF, Bluetooth, GPS, DR mode, D-Star, lots more. So let's just start setting it up. What do we do now? We just got it. Okay. First thing I would say is get yourself a carry cage. That's the first thing I would say. You need a carry cage. There's a few models out there now, but you need something to move this around safely. I've gone for the POV one, but there's a few out there now by Windcamp. And there's another one by Hamgear 3D. That one looks quite nice. Okay, so we've got a carry cage. Let's get the battery in there. So the battery is same as your ID51, which is quite handy. Most of us have got an ID51. There you go. Put just like that, and then it just clicks. So a nice fully charged battery. Don't touch the screen when you push the battery in. So got a bit of dust on mine. Anyway. So, and then another thing I would say is dig out an SD card and get it in there. So it just pushes here with your little finger. Sometimes you need tweezers to slide it out. So just give it a little, just make sure you've got an SD card in there, because some of the functions won't work without it. Okay, the next thing is get yourself an adapter, BNC adapter. Okay, a couple of pounds. I'd say get 3 or 4 of these. And then what I do is I then get myself a patch lead, a decent sized patch lead here, just normal patch lead, good quality one. Put the adapter on one end, like so, and then connect it to your BNC, like so. So you're on there. And then the other end, I'm just gonna. What I've done, I've made a in my normal. I'll just show you. I've made basically a place where I can connect in, this antenna. So yeah, all I do is my G5RV terminates here. I've actually got a spare long wire that I use portable, but anyway, so I just this patch lead runs to my Icom 705, and I just undo this now, and I connect in the patch lead that I just showed you and run it to the G5RV, which is just here on the kitchen table. Sorry, the 705. You can see I just run it here and I connect it in. Okay, next thing we're going to connect just it is the microphone and the speaker microphone if you plug them both in. But for now, I'm just going to connect in the microphone, and the speaker will come out of the radio. So while it's off, I've got the antenna connected, which is, like I said, just a G5RV. Now I will cheat. I'll use that G5RV for my hotspot as well. Save me having to swap antennas. So, okay, so you've just seen it's the small. You've got a 2.5mm and a 3.5. 3.5 goes in the top half. If you want the speaker microphone to for the audio to come out of the microphone. Remember, you can program these buttons A and B, up and down, to change the volume and do all sorts with it. And it's quite straightforward programming. So anyway, we've plugged in our microphone. Okay, so we've got our antenna connected, the microphone's connected, the SD card's in. We've got ourselves a nice safe carry cage. Now let's just turn the radio on. Just push power. Now obviously I've used mine before, so it's going to have things in it, but I'm still going to show you, what I think is what you do at the beginning. So first thing I'm going to do is straight away that's receiving via my G5RV a local link on 2 meters. So also I couldn't transmit on that because the SWR would be high. So I always straight away get the power low, hit that button there, the multi knob, get that power right down as low as it will go, just to make sure you're not going to have any problems there. Because at the moment we don't need that. Now because we've got our G5RV connected, we know straight away we can use HF. So let's just go menu. Now you've gone in straight into memory mode here. Chances are if you've just got this, you're going to go into, there's my hotspot in the background, I'll explain that in a sec. You're going to go into VFO mode. So if you are, just look, VFO mode is just tap here, turn it down, and then just select VFO here. So you're in VFO mode now. There you go. Yeah, you're in VFO mode. Let's back out of that. Here's the back button here, or you've got an exit button here. Right. So what's the first thing you're going to want to do? You're going to want to get in your local repeater. So let's just quickly do one. Yeah. So let's do GB3WR. So turn that to 145/600. Then hit the function menu. Get this a bit closer. And here's your tone here. So just tap it. Let's see if I get it a bit brighter. I'll just show you how to do the display. So go menu, set, go to display, just scroll and just tap it and just a bit brighter they are than it was. There you go. Right, okay, so we're in VFO mode. We put in the frequency just by turning, or we can tap it like so. The first section, so it's the 145 we tapped, and then you can FINP means input. You can type it, or you could have just selected 2 meters here at the bottom and then gone to 145/600, which is the output. Now we just need to get our tone in there, so you go function, turn the tone on just by tapping it, select, it gives you the option to select. So tone squelch, and then to get the tone squelch frequency, hold your finger on the tone button. Select 94.8. I just do both. You probably only need to do one, but I do both. Exit here. Okay, and if you want to see the scope, you can just tap menu and then scope. There you go, and you can enlarge it by pushing expand set. And if you hold your finger on that, you can actually change settings, but we're not going to do that now. Anyway, so you got your tone in there, you got your 94.8, you just need to put in your minus shift. So hit function again, and then go to menu number 2. See, it says DUP, just tap that, and that's minus, okay? So now if we key the mic just briefly, remember the power, we want that right down low. We're not going to touch the mic gain or the other one anymore, so pushing the multi knob there, like so, and there's GB3WR. And we actually did open it then. So if you want to get that into your memory, all you do is just hit VFO, and just for quick purposes, I'm not going to show you about groups at the moment because there are groups. Just hold your finger down on MW and it will automatically put it in at the moment, the only group you've got. And it will beep twice, and look, it's channel 1. And then so if you want to go use memory mode, you just tap memo. It says memo here, and you're in memory mode. There you are. It's put it in memory number 4 because I've already got some stored, but it'll put it in memory 00 first. Right, so you've set up your local repeater. Now, the next thing I think most of us would want to do, I think, is we want to get our hotspot going. So here's our hotspot. There you go. Now, really, you need to get that in DR mode. DR mode is achieved by holding down just underneath the power button. There's the call button. Hold that down, and you're straight into DR mode. Now, if you've never used DR mode, it is quite confusing. It's like thousands or hundreds of repeaters that are pre-stored in a CSV file along the bottom. Now, those repeaters, they could be your nearest repeater, or they could be your hotspot. So look at your hotspot like it's one of the repeaters, and that's how you add your hotspot into an Icom 705 if you're used to DR mode on a ID 51 or an ID 5100. So the way to add yours, there's a couple of ways. One way is just to tap it here and then do a search of near repeaters. Now, hopefully you've already downloaded the CSV file with all the repeaters on it, and do a search. And we could search for our FM one. So we'll do that first. Oh, it looks like, yeah, so there's no info on the FM near repeater. So let's try DV, because just go up one, DV. Yeah, it said invalid, but because it's already in the CSV file. So look, it's found my hotspot, which I've already put in, and I'll show you how to do that. But otherwise, look, you could, if you haven't got a hotspot, it also finds the nearest repeaters to you. So if I select one of them, see, you're now, because I'm near Cardiff, it's now found the Cardiff repeater that I can use for D-Star. And then at the top, you want it to say use reflector. Now, if you want to link to a reflector, because when you're connected to a repeater, you can tell the repeater to change reflectors. All you do is just change the top section to link by you tap it and then turn the multi knob here like so. Or you just tap and hold it, hit reflector, and then look, you can go turn the big knob to link to reflector. And then you've got a direct input where you type in the number, or it will show you ones that you've pre-stored, but we haven't got any pre-stored. So once you've decided to link, you choose the number and then key the microphone, and that will link you, but then you always change it back to use reflector. So that's your repeater sorted. That's already pre-programmed. Now hotspot, you're going to need to add your hotspot in there. So one way is just to select the bottom half, go to repeater list, go to United Kingdom. Now choose one that you're never ever going to use. So I'm nowhere near Watford Island, so I'm never going to use that. So tap and hold your finger on it and then click edit, and then the type is DV repeater, that's fine. Now this is for your hotspot. The name, so you're going to rename it. So we clear that. We'll call it hotspot HS for now. Enter. Subname, you could clear that. Put home for now, just as your home hotspot. Enter. Then it's going to need your call sign. So clear it completely by holding your finger on the CLR, and then just put in my call sign for now. Then you need, once you get your call sign, and go loads of spaces, and if you've only got one hotspot, just put in B. Yeah, and then click enter. Now the next one will always be a G, so scroll down to, you've got call sign, then gateway call sign, and again tap it, clear that completely, and the G doesn't go because you need that whatever, and then get your call sign in there again. FXB, oops, need to get that in properly. B. So you get it, put your call sign in, keep pushing space, and then it'll be a G, then hit enter. So you've got your repeater, that was basically repeater 1 and repeater 2 in there. Group, we'll talk about groups later, but at the moment it's in group United Kingdom. Use from, I always select yes, and then now you want the frequency of your hotspot. So you need to go into your Pi-Star settings of your jumbo hotspot, it's flashing away here in the background, and you need to just have a look at what frequency you've set that on, and then match that here. So we won't change it, but at the moment it's 439.650, so we'll hit enter. Now the next, scroll to the next one, which is duplex. Now you definitely want to have a duplex plus or minus, it doesn't matter for your hotspot. But then, and you have to have an offset frequency of, if it's a simplex normal hotspot just at home, you just want to set it all to naught. So just hit all the noughts and click enter. Position is up to you, approximate, latitude, longitude, it's up to you to put that in. UTC offset in the UK, I always just put +1 hour, but you don't really, There, I put it in anyway, like so. And then you add right or you overwrite. So I click add right. It's not going to allow it at the moment because I've already got my hotspot in here. Now the way I can get around that is if I tap M0FXB, go all the way across and change the B to say, let's change it to say like a H. And it will allow it now, because this is how you have multiple hotspots in the DR system. You have to change that letter. Now the letter you choose does matter, so look into that. And then you can click overwrite. Right, so look, clear. Right, let's just click overwrite again. And look, overwrite, yeah. So that's in there now, and we can select that. So what I'll do now is I'll now go back and I'll do the near repeater search again. DV. Ignore that message for now, and it's found my hotspot, so you can select that now, and it's put my hotspot at the bottom. Okay, so that's our hotspot connected and used. And if we have a quick look, pretty sure I can just key at my hotspot now, and I've got, like I said, power on the low. If you want to see the meters, look, at the moment mine's on SWR. If you want to see the meters properly to make sure you haven't got an SWR problem, hold your finger on that, on the meter, like so, and it will show all the meters. And then when you key, if you're worried about your SWR, you'll see it straight away. So like I said, power right down low, there's key, and then you can see my hotspot coming to life there, working fine. And then the SWR is fine, look. There you are. So that's your hotspot setup. You've got a memory channel in there for your local repeater. You know how to select your DV repeater. So let's come out of DR mode now by pushing core. Now we just want to play a bit of HF. So let's get it into Vfo mode. So go tap the memo, tap Vfo, like so. It says Vfo here. Back out of that. Let's get our nice scope back. Go menu, scope. Okay, and if we want to be really flash, go menu, audio. We get these audio things. We can hold down scope. Let's try that again. So menu, audio, and then we get this. You'll see it when it comes to life in a sec. We get the scope and the audio things. So let's go on HF. So let's do 40 meters. LSB. Now get the RF gain. So here's the RF gain here. Push this button. Turn the RF gain right up for now. Because we haven't got the preamp on. Now if you want a preamp, you just go function number 1, preamp on. You've got two choices. So you've got all these different choices here to control filters. You've got noise blanker, noise reduction, notch, AGC, even split and Vox. So we've turned the preamp to number 1, and in number 2 part, not really much you can do there because we haven't got a tuner connected. Now with the preamp on, look, it's bringing in all this noise, so all we do is go function, turn the preamp off. We don't need that. Right, you can see how it's clearer now. You can see the audio scopes here. You can change the audio scope by pressing time here. That looks a bit more readable, doesn't it? So we're not trying to make contacts. We're just showing you, you've got it, you've connected your G5RV and you just want to play. So if you want to just have the scope, just push the scope button again. I think push and hold it, if I remember right. And then there, it's gone scope only, and then tap expand and you've got the scope. You've got all the, this will be, oh, there is some activity. Now you can tap the scope. Tap it twice to connect. Fine tune. Select the 89 here. And you'll get fine tune. Now you can go even finer by holding your finger on it. And look, another naught appears. You get even finer. Or if you want to not be so fine, you can tap the center, and if you want to change the step, hold your finger on the center, and you can choose the step here. As you can see, that's all your steps. So that's HF. Now to change the band, like so, just tap the largest number. Gives you the option to change bands there. You've even got FM radio. Well, we're not going to use that. There you go. Filter wise, basically you can tap here and change it with this knob here, the twin PBT knob. So you can tap the actual filter, the filters 1, 2, 3. Obviously you can change that. You can also push this button here, and you get the same, well, you get it appear for the filter you're on, and you can turn it right and left. Push it again for the blue section, and it does make quite a good difference. It's well worth it. And then if you hold your finger on the filter wood here, so a bit too high, that showed me the battery, still a bit lower. It's good that it shows the battery, right? And you can actually hold your finger on it, and you get this sort of filter menu, which you can play with. Let's turn it down. GPS wise, now obviously it needs to be turned on, so you go menu, number 2, GPS, set is on already, so just select on by tapping it, and then you can select on or off, or you can select manual and just put in your coordinates if you're not getting a lock. That would probably help with the FM search. TX mode, I'm pretty sure that's how you turn on DPRS. Yeah, DPRS is the one you're going to use on a reflector. DPRS TX. Now when you're in DV mode, if I just go back to 70 centimeters, when you're in DV mode, and I'm pretty sure you can tap DV, yeah, and that also turns on DPRS. Now it's not letting me at the moment because we're getting an FM carrier, so let's just move away from that frequency. Just change this up away from that carrier. So we're in DV mode, you tap it. I'm pretty sure, yeah, I've had it before where that will turn DPRS on and off. So try that one out later, not important now really. So if you want to go back to my hotspot, push DR here, hold it, and we're back to our hotspot if anyone talks on our hotspot. So I think that's the basics of, you've got the radio, you've got it up and running, DV, HF, you've got your volume here at the bottom, left knob, up and down, click it for RF gain, and tap that squelch for squelch. And then if you want to go back into VFO mode, just tap the DR button, the call button again. There's your VFO. Get it into, tap this section and go to VFO there. And then back out. You've got an exit button here as well. So I think that's your basic setup really. You've got it up and running. You've got an antenna connected. Obviously, when you're going to start transmitting on 2.70 meters regular, you need to connect it to the proper antenna. But I find that my G5RV will do everything that I need it to do, and I never have to change antenna. But I have got a rubber duck on an angle joiner here that I fit here. It's okay, but it actually gets bad SWR because it feeds back off it's so close to the radio, it feeds back. So I hope this helps you set up your Icom 705. Please subscribe to the channel if you enjoy it. 7.3, all the best.